Is today Thursday? Oh, Thursday Cafecito. Here we go. Eating some pretzels, chocolate covered
You know
pretzels.
the only thing I don't
What?
like about the warehouse
What?
is that we don't have bags of ice. So on your way back, bring me a bag of ice. Because that's how I would refresh my coffee when the ice would melt. It's hotter here.
You're so high maintenance.
I'm so fancy.
You're so high maintenance.
What's our new motto?
I don't know, what is it?
Life short, go fancy.
Oh yeah, it's true, Life is too short not to go fancy. You gotta go fancy.
It was a meme we saw on Instagram. I told them words to live by.
Yeah. Man, my arm's gonna hurt like this.
Yeah.
So, Cafecito Thursday.
So we're gonna do a short cafecito then, since your arm's gonna hurt?
No, we're gonna switch arms. We're gonna switch arms.
I like how you're mostly pointing it to yourself.
Because I'm the good looking one around town. Here, let me go get let me go get something to put this. I need to do my hair, dude, because look, people are not gonna believe me that I'm the best looking artist in the world.
Oh, is that it too? So you're famous and the best looking?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh man, that's not gonna work. There we go.
Here, look, I'll just lean
Yeah.
it like this. Oh.
No. Dude, we're never prepared. That's what I love about us.
We're so ghetto right now.
We're so what? We're
just being like unprofessional, unprepared.
Whatever. So how's it going, beautiful people?
Hi, everyone.
This is, dude. It's Thursday Cafecito.
They're gonna be like nostril video again.
Yeah,
you always
there's our own
low
nostril
low points.
Well, you know, it's what it is. It makes me look good.
So I actually wanted to talk about what we had talked about the other day. We had like the best conversation. We were packaging at like 8:30 at night.
What was it?
And now it's left me. We were just talking about like personal responsibility, how one person's efforts impacts the other person, needing to work together to keep each other motivated and going.
Yeah.
Right? So we had a little bit of a energy dip.
At 8:30?
No, in general, we had a little bit of an energy dip in the move. We allowed the move to kind of like impede us. And you were talking about how like everyone, even my dad, I love him, and he's a small business owner, but he was like, moves disrupt everything.
Right.
You're gonna see a dip.
Yeah,
and it was like we like mentally prepared to have like a dip in what we do, even though we hadn't had experienced a dip in a long time.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a long time since we experienced a dip, an emotional dip, and
that impacts our income. And so we were talking about how really it wasn't the move, right?
No, it's never the move.
Had we gone with like maybe been more organized. Been more organized in how we moved and how, but it wasn't really that. It was not making that the excuse for the dip.
Yeah, it's not. It's you know how I believe about organization. I feel like you can organize only so much. If you organize, you get. It's like thinking. It's like you have to organize, but 9 out of 10 I'd rather do than organize. I always get my ass kicked when I sit and think about something, or I try to organize, or I try to, You
have like a really good insight though about like the move and being here, and we were talking about like cycle, like how sometimes you can recognize like emotional patterns in yourself where like all of a sudden that same you're like, I'm gonna make it to this point, and then you as a person make it to that point, and then you face the wall again, and it's pushing past the wall.
Yeah, it's because every, like for example, in running a small business, right? Every place that you get to, you're gonna encounter a whole new set of challenges,
right?
That you were not used to,
and a different way of needing to show up.
In a different way, it might not need you to show up. It won't need you. Absolutely,
it will require.
It will require a whole different set of you, and if you are like, oh man, I'm good, I'm hustling, I'm working, I'm selling my artwork and whatnot. The moment that you tell yourself, okay, well now I'm gonna go after whatever your number is, let's say that you're making $2,000, $5,000 a month selling artwork or whatever, and
like,
you're
I
like,
don't feel fancy right now.
yeah, I'm sorry. and they don't need to know that, dude. and let's say that that's your goal, right? When you're starting.
I'm just kidding. It's really personal problem.
Let's say that you're starting and you're at $5,000, whatever your number is, and you're like, man, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna go after bringing in another couple of $1,000 a month, right? Let's say that that's your goal. It's going to require a whole new set of you. I think that like the first year when I was like, oh yeah, man, I know how to make 10K in a month.
Right.
This is almost 7 years ago, guys. That
we stayed in that space for a very long time.
I stayed in that space, and the moment that I was like, oh, okay, well now I'm going to go after something else, it required a whole different me. It was no longer like it requires 10 times the amount of effort. 10 times the amount of effort just to climb a little higher. And I think that's where we go wrong. We make a move, we do something, and we think we can keep it the same. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like you can keep the same effort.
I'm sorry, I'm trying to make it. I got tired of staring at my double chin.
Got it. Double chin.
Double chin.
So regardless of what you're going after, it's going to require a whole new set of you. And I think when you're working in a partnership, it's very easy to be like, well, it was your turn to do this, you know? Right. You should have been taking care of that and this and that. And I've talked to you guys a lot about this. Look, if you're the artist, I don't care if you're working in a partnership, it's your responsibility. Like I can't make her responsible. I can't make her responsible for anything that happens here. Like everything, if anything goes wrong in my studio, anything, I don't care what it is, it's my fault. I will never blame anyone, and not because I don't put I don't hold people accountable or whatever. Yeah, but the person that you want to hold accountable the most is yourself. If something's not running right, if not enough money is coming in the studio and this and that or whatever, it's nobody's fault. It's the person, it's the captain. It will always be the captain's fault. This is why the captain leaves. It's the last one to leave the ship when it's sinking, because he's the captain. He is the captain.
I've told him multiple times. But that doesn't take away from my responsibilities and being and participating in how we can succeed on my end. Right. But you are the captain.
Yeah, no. If
you are steering this.
See, this is the way I believe. Like, and it's so damn hard in the beginning to switch to that mindset. But if she's having a bad day, I don't blame her. I blame the environment, and I blame myself, like the environment that I create. Why are we laughing? Because huh?
Because everyone's going to be like, oh, that's so lucky for her. If she's having a bad day, then I can just blame it on you. But that isn't how it works. But I just thought it was funny because that's what I thought about.
Well, no. I mean, it's
we do.
It's the environment that I create here.
We had an honest conversation about how we vibe off of each other, or in a work environment, I vibe off of my production is vibed off of your production. Because we've talked about.
Yeah, of course, because you signed up to come with me. You know, I told you, hey, you want to come with me on this adventure? And you're like, yeah. So if I fuck up on this adventure, it's my fault. If she's lacking something in the adventure, I can't be like, well, you didn't do your part. Well, no, she got invited to it.
I swear it doesn't always work in my favor. It sounds like it right now.
No, you are held accountable for your.
Yeah, no, totally. I have to.
But not for me.
Right.
Or what I do here.
So we talked about how creating energy, keeping it up, keeping it positive.
Yeah, I mean,
not losing focus.
The focus is the most important thing. I mean, when Bill Gates
staring at the waves, not the rock.
Yeah, Bill Gates and what's this cat's name? The big investor guy. What's his name?
Warren Buffett.
Warren Buffett met Bill Gates for the first time. They were sitting on a dinner table, and Bill Gates' mom asked Warren Buffett, so what is the secret to your success, right? And both at the same exact time answered, focus. Bill Gates and Warren Buffett. Bill Gates was a young buck. He was, I don't know, I think he was like a young adult. They both answered at the same time. Focus. Because no matter how hard you hustle, no matter how hard you work, if you lose focus, you will go into the hamster wheel. Everybody goes into the hamster wheel. So, you know, you need lots of focus, and you need to work harder than everyone in the room. Mm-hmm. And if you're not willing to do that, maybe it's not for you. You know, maybe pass it to someone else.
Yeah.
Because every time I find myself in a dip, I realize, oh my God, 2 things happened. You know, well, really 3 things happened. My attitude's shitty, right? Mm-hmm. I lost focus, and I stopped working harder than everyone else. The moment that I stop working harder than my old self, if today I'm not working harder than I worked yesterday, and many people get this confused because people think like, oh my God, there's only 24 hours in a day. What are you talking about? No, I'm talking about momentum.
Right.
I'm talking about momentum. When you generate momentum, you're able to do multiple things at once.
Yeah.
You're able to create. I don't even. It's like a magic. It's like a magic.
It is. And what's funny is that
I don't even know how to. Because the more you do, the more you can do. I don't even know how to describe this.
I also need to clarify, because when we talk about dip, like his productivity didn't go down. Like I'm still packaging paintings from this time period.
Right.
It's just that you weren't keeping the ingredients the same.
Right. It wasn't focused. It wasn't focused energy. It was very sloppy energy.
Right.
It wasn't focused.
And so I think that's where people think, because they're like, oh, you dip, like that meant, did you not show up? No, you thought you were showing up every day, but you weren't doing the things necessary to make sure that all the parts that make our business work were in place.
That's why I tell you guys, it's like a farm. If you have a farm and you only focus on taking care of the horses and not the crops and not the all the other aspects of a farm. That's why I look at it as a farm. If you're like, today, all day, I'm just going to change the shoes of the horses, you're gonna shoot yourself in the foot. Your day should be deviated up. When my day is in the highest productivity, divided up. When my day is in the highest productivity, I'm only giving 15 minutes to each endeavor.
Yeah.
There are things that require more time, but regardless of, give yourself 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Tell yourself, in 15 minutes I'm going to finish this, or 10 minutes, whatever. But for example, if I'm going to do a video, if I'm going to do write an article for LinkedIn, I write articles, I do different stuff. I tell myself, I don't care how shitty I'm going to write this, but you only got 10 minutes. Go.
Go.
You only got 10, 15 minutes. And this I learned from a high performance entrepreneur. He said he calls it his beast mode clock. Mm-hmm. You know, the moments that I fall in a dip, it's because I'm not doing all of the things.
And I catch it.
I focus too much on one thing.
Because I see him working, and I'm like, oh, he's working.
Yeah, no, you can't catch it because see the thing is
because I've asked. I'm like, how do I make sure that we don't do this again?
Right.
How do I help encourage, motivate, whatever?
Well, when we were
and
moving,
I can't. Sometimes I can't even catch it.
Because you're still busy.
Yeah, I'm still busy.
This is why people. My job doesn't slow down. But this is why people have a mind fuck, because they're like, oh my God, I don't understand. I'm so busy all day. Busy work is not productive work, guys. Busy work is a completely different way of working.
Yeah.
Than productivity. Productive work is getting shit done. You know, it's finishing tasks. It's finishing cycles. You know, I think this is when I'm coaching artists. This is the very first thing that I tell them. Like, are you finishing cycles?
Yeah.
You know, because they're like, oh, I was going to open an Etsy shop. Okay, did you open it? Did you finish the cycle? Well, no, because I had to do this, and then I got busy with my picture, my photograph, and my artist bio, and so that's busy work. It'll never finish. Yeah. It's busy work.
Yeah.
You know, it has to look shitty first. It has to look so shitty.
You just gotta get going.
That it's that you just move it.
Yeah.
You know, as my mentor says, dude, get it done, and then you can get it right later on. But get it done first.
Yes.
There's nothing more important than getting it done. Mm-hmm. And when we were moving, I spent too much time looking, in hindsight now, looking back, I spent too much time focusing on the move, on this, on that, rather than being like, you know what? Instead of spending all day. Remember I told you I'm going to spend all day moving. Instead of doing that, it should have been like, okay, we got an hour, go, or let's go get 3 people to move for us. But I waited last minute, and then it was just you and I.
Yeah.
And it was stupid because I didn't work. I was still work. You and I were working like maniacs, but didn't get productive. Didn't get the income type of productivity in.
I feel like I'm still tired
from that.
Just from this past 2 months.
Is your eye twitching still?
No, it's not twitching. Thank God it stopped twitching.
Yeah, but here's another thing too. When you're working with a partner, you tend to think that you're going to conquer the world on your own, and it doesn't work that way. You need people. You need other people to come and help you. You need, first of all, it's a huge mind F to think that you're going to do it alone, and everybody seems to jump on that boat.
Well, you want to conserve, and you want it to just be you.
Conserving is the bad thing.
This is what we were talking about.
You got to spend.
This was the other part of our conversation that night that I was like, we should have recorded it because it was really good. I was saying that in the beginning of our business, because I was so always worried because we were working through our own personal paradigm, so we would experience these dips more often than we have had in a very long time because we were trying to figure out how to make it work.
I had no discipline. I would show up randomly when I felt like it.
And so I was like, I'm going to package and do it on my own. And I actually, if my output in how I package is really fast.
Right.
I've just been a little bit overwhelmed lately. But if I'm like in there, you've seen me package like 30, 40 paintings in a span of hours. So my output got really good because I pushed myself to be able to do that on my own because I was afraid of having people help us. Because I was like worried about money and all these things. As you guys see Megan back there. This was a long time ago, Megan, if you're listening. But I was telling Jose that as we have grown in the last year and a half,
our growth started. Really.
I told him I have to let go because when you're a solopreneur, sometimes you accidentally don't even realize that you're holding on to it out of fear, and you're not open to letting it go and letting somebody else help you, so that you can focus on things that are actually going to help your business grow. We've talked about this, right? And I told you like 6 months ago, I was like, I want somebody to come in and help me because I'm ready to focus on the other elements of what I already do and be able to maximize those so we can build off of that and move into another space, right?
This is...
I know it sounds airy-fairy, but there's other elements that I need to be able to focus on. Customer service and other ways to grow our business
and sales.
And what we're doing, right? Which is customer service.
Nothing happens without a sale.
And I told you I'm ready to like pass off a little bit more of that responsibility of packaging and organizing orders and doing all of that, so that I can help you in the other ways that are just as important.
Yeah, I mean, and this is not your fault. This is something that I understood theoretically. I read the books, I attended the seminars, I rubbed shoulders with people that were doing it, but I had no experience. There was no experiential knowledge. Yeah, they always told us
you got to bring somebody in to help you guys. I was like, no.
I went and talked to this guy who was running a $10 million, 8-figure, I guess it would be, a year business on Amazon, and he's like, dude, you can't do it alone. You can't do it yourself. You need to put people to help you scale, right? And the thing is that when you're in there, you think that if you do it yourself, it's not about the saving. You think that you're faster.
Yeah.
This is where it is. It's not about saving the money or whatever. You think that you're faster. You don't want to delegate, and you think like, if I do it myself, I'm able to do it so much faster, and blah blah blah. See, but what happens is that you get into a golden hamster wheel. You get into a hamster wheel, but you can't grow anymore. Remember our very first month when I was like, oh my god, yeah, I can do this. I was tricking myself. I was tricking myself because you're wearing all the hats.
Yeah.
So even if you have a whatever 30, 40, 50K month, you're tricking yourself. You're tricking yourself because you're not able to grow.
Yeah.
So you're really contracting. You think you're expanding, but you're really contracting. It's a weird game, huh? It's you have to be in it to get it.
It is experiential.
It's experiential. So that's why I'm always telling artists, hey, look, guys, you got to go get help. You got to go and expand yourself. Even if you're left with nothing, you feel like you're not getting paid, it's okay. You will get paid. You just gotta expand first.
All right.
What do you think? Did I went too loco on this?
Nope. I think we're done though.
Gotta go. Bam.
Okay. Bye, guys.
Bye.
See you next Thursday.